Hello, welcome to Move Younger. I'm Kathy Hill. Move Younger is about the three elements of aging well: how we move, what we eat, and how we deal with stress. Today, I am also mom, mother-in-law,
Mhm.
and GK to my grandkids, as my guests are my three daughters and my daughter-in-law. So I will let each of you introduce yourselves, starting with Stephanie.
I'm the oldest, Stephanie Stallmaker. What else am I supposed to say?
You want to say anything about what you do?
I missed that part. I'm trying to hold the phone and I'm trying to figure a way to prop it and still have the earbud plugged in there so I can hear.
I thought it was like a
And
video.
I'm okay. I'm Stephanie Stallmaker. I'm 47 until Monday. I'm a visual merchandising designer at Hallmark Cards, and I have two boys, Dallin and Alec, 25 and 27.
Okay. Casey.
Hi, I'm Casey Green. I'm the second oldest, and I live in Summerlin of Las Vegas, Nevada. I am a wine and events coordinator in a cute little spot in Henderson, Nevada. I live in Las Vegas with my husband and our two sons, who are 3 and 6, Zephyr and Zion. And we just moved, and this is the first piece of art that I've hung up, and it's a cardboard box that Zephyr drew all over, and I'm obsessed with it.
Yay.
I'm Laura Tyler. I'm Kathy's daughter-in-law, and my 9 to 5 is I'm a digital manager for a marketing company that works for nonprofits. But my background's in art, and I do a lot of ceramics and illustration, and I'm also the vice president of the Casey Clay Guild.
Yay. And I will include your link to your ceramics page.
Okay, cool.
And
I'm Amelia, Amelia Moore. I'm the youngest, and I am a bartender in Kansas City, Missouri. I'm 30 years old, and I'm figuring things out. So that's where I'm at.
well, and you have a triple major.
Yes, I was a triple major in psychology, cultural studies, and communications and theater arts, and I have a master's in professional communication. But beyond that, I'm figuring things out.
We all are throughout life.
We always
secret.
are. This is true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So today we're breaking it into two halves: how we see ourselves and how we see the world around us. Because I was thinking, with the world on fire, it's kind of nice to look at things that are positive, and then also just how we deal with stress, because it's a pretty stressful world right now, but it has been in the past too. So, okay. So, and as far as generations, we have 2 millennials, 2 Gen X, and 1 Gen Jones. Proud Gen Jones, never call me a boomer.
That should be your handle. I can turn that into a drinking game. That's how often we hear it.
Maybe that'll be my new drinking game. Okay, so the first question is, music defines a generation, and there is a quote from The Generational Difference in Musical Preferences. Each emerging generation is open to the popular music of its day and especially drawn to music that plays to that generation and defines itself as that generation's sound. As that generation ages, it tends to maintain its preferences for the music of its youth, which I completely agree with. I'll start with answering the question is, what album or song speaks to your soul? And for me, from the moment I heard Stop Making Sense, I have played that album more times than I can even remember. And it's something I turn to when maybe I just need to feel grounded, or maybe I just need to have a little energy. So that's my album, but it doesn't have to be an album. Do we want to start with youngest and go up?
Yeah, sure. I do have my albums figured out.
Okay.
I don't really know if this is like, universal. This is maybe like slightly more of a younger generation, but I do really like pretty much everything Billie Eilish has done, and I really like her album "Hit Me Hard and Soft." And I also really like Chappell Roan's album, The Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess. So even though they came out last summer, I resonate with them, and I feel like that they are capturing um, energy that I really resonate with, at least. So I'm locking in on kind of, yeah, Billie Eilish probably is my number one album as a whole right now.
Laura?
I feel like this is so hard for me to answer because I feel like there have been so many albums at different stages of my life that I've identified with or just listened to over and over again and love so much. But I think kind of within the last 5 or 10 years, I love Kevin Morby. He's from Kansas City, actually, and but he is also like more nationally known, especially now. And I just really love all of his albums. And Travis and I have seen Kevin Morby, I think like 4 times in the last 10 years. And that was our first date was we went to Harry's and then we went to a Kevin Morby concert. So that's when I first met Travis, and we've been to concerts at different points in our relationship. And I just love his music and think he's really great. And I just saw him at Woodside a few weeks ago.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh my
So I
God.
was really excited, and I get too anxious to talk to famous people, but I did go up to him and ask him if he was Kevin Morby, and let him know that I had seen him and his girlfriend who does Waxahachie. I've seen them several times, so that was really fun.
And for just a little side, for those listening, 4 of us live in Kansas City, Missouri, and Woodside is a fitness and health center.
And the best.
And the best.
Every city should have a Woodside. Every city. I miss it so much.
Woodside has not paid us anything to say that.
True. Okay, so like Laura, which actually Laura and I have a lot of similar tastes in music, but this is a really challenging question to kind of break up the categories. So I'm going to start off with sharing a memory, since this is a platform, a family platform, and it's a memory of music shopping back in the 90s. And I guess it must have been whatever year Can't Touch This came out by MC Hammer. Stefan, Mom, I don't know if you remember this story, but we went to a music store, and the deal was, Mom would let us get a book or a tape. And I remember I wanted to get the cassette of that, whatever the album was called. Who even knows? It's a one-hit wonder, but MC Hammer. And Mom was like, maybe you should get something that you might like for a while. What else do you like right now? And it was the same summer that Nothing Compares to You was a huge number one song or huge song of the summer or year, whatever time of year it was. But I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And so I got that cassette. And to this day, oh my gosh, like what a great artist. She's a mainstay throughout life. I just heard one of her songs earlier today and was singing along with it. And it's probably why it's on my radar right now. And I love classic rock. So I'm just going to I love all sorts of music. Music is a huge, huge aspect of my life. But initially my thought was to mention Give Me Shelter by Rolling Stones, because that's just such a huge song for me throughout my life. But another album that's just really significant for me is The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust. When I was backpacking around Australia and New Zealand by myself, that album was my friend. Like when I had, long bus rides or train rides to get from one part of the country to the next, I would just put it on and play it back to back to back. And that album, just to this day, if I hear it, I'm back in that era of my life. So it's a huge album for me.
Well, I'm glad I inspired you to go towards Sinead O'Connor and Prince over MC Hammer, even though I don't remember that.
And
then
Prince,
also
one of the
David
best
Bowie.
songs. He wrote so many great ones, but that for
Yeah.
sure, like I also always think about Prince when I hear that song because it's just he was, him and Dolly Parton, they just wrote so many iconic songs.
Mhm.
Yeah, so good words of
Yeah.
wisdom.
Thank you. I don't remember them, but I'm glad I gave them.
I'm glad I remember them.
Mhm. I had just mentioned to Mom yesterday that I always think of her on the Purple Rain album because I just remember she had it, and I remember looking at the album cover and
In the movie.
well, in the movie, but she didn't take us to that. Daddy took us to that.
I don't remember seeing the movie actually.
Daddy
but
took
maybe-
us to see it, which now looking back, it's like we should
So
have
inappropriate.
so inappropriate, so
Real
inappropriate.
latchkey kids.
But I like a lot of music as well. If I were to say a couple that are go-tos, it'd be Kate Bush, Sensual World. I could listen to that anytime, anywhere. Amelia, actually, your Aunt Jenny is who gave me my Kate Bush Sensual World cassette tape for Christmas one year. I probably was in high school. I love Ali Farka. He's an African musical artist. Maurice Ravel. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but classical.
The
Yeah,
classic?
classical music. That's
Oh
always
yeah.
a go-to. And Thievery Corporation, I like a lot.
Mhm.
I can't tell you album names or anything like that. Sinead O'Connor, also like Casey, is a forever favorite. So,
Those are good.
yeah.
Well, music was quite prominent, I think, in the household. And just, I'm digressing, but when Stephanie and Casey were young and I was in college, they went to more music of the troubadours and Renaissance music and all kinds of concerts at Washington University in St. Louis because I had to fulfill so many hours of listening to music. And so they trumped along with me. You may or may not remember that.
I remember pieces of it. And I also, kind of off topic, but on topic, want to say that I'm not sure if you caught what Zephyr said when he hopped on, but he said, that is a great thought, or that is a great question. So he is like desperately wanting to be interviewing you or you interviewing him right now. So, but great first question, DK.
Okay, I'm going to read another quote. This is about how we present ourselves. Inasmuch as we are what we eat, we also tend to become the character in the world whose costume we are wearing. That's from a book called Fear and Clothing by Centra Wilson. It's really fascinating. So, whether you like fashion or not, and we all know I have a little bit of a thing about it, but I think we all do. Every day we make a statement with our clothes. So, what are you communicating? And I'll start with this and try to make it simple. But for myself, I thought for the most part, I love patterns and color, and I like to play with those in a way that creates a flattering silhouette. But having many decades of styling, I thought to express that in many different styles. In the 20s, I sewed almost all my clothes. So it was earth tone, like long dresses with 3-inch heel boots, high waisted pants with cropped flowy tops and platforms. And then my late 20s, it was primary colored leotards and leg warmers because I was basically dancing all the time. And then my 30s was thrift stores with black ankle boots that Stephanie likes to wear a lot too. And in my 40s, when I had more money, I was wearing mainly Pilates clothes because I was teaching all the time. But when I dressed up, I would really dress up. So I was always kind of playing with patterns and silhouette. Like I liked black leather jackets and lace dresses later on. And I started buying shoes at that time. And then now I'm into silhouettes again. I'm just constantly thinking silhouettes because it's what it's all about, proportion. And of
Which is
course, great
something
shoes.
I never think about. I never factor that.
And I will say I've gone more towards Angela Scott over Stuart Weitzman, even though I still have the Stuart Weitzman shoes, but I have both now. So that's just kind of like an overview. You don't have to go into that, but I just think it's interesting because we all present very differently. And I could
Yeah, I
probably
think I'm more of a feeling person. Like, how do I feel when I'm wearing what I'm wearing? Comfort is a huge factor for me, but also just shoes and handbags are more of like my statement or my style, I would say, more so than, well, I would say that Mom and Steph would chime in and say this is very true, but I am like terrible at fitting clothes on my body. Like, I always wear things that are too big and they don't fit me right, and people are like, yeah, maybe you more
I
than anybody
relate. I
else, but
relate.
wait, you as well?
I have that same
Oh,
issue. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's just sort of like, oh, I like this. I'm gonna try it on. Oh, I feel good in it. And, let's go. But I also noticed that I don't know why, but I tend to wear a lot of blue. I don't know if it's like a comfort color for me. Um, I'm not really a big pattern person, but I just really wear a lot of blue. Um, and yeah, just kind of where I am with it.
We'll just go random, whoever wants to answer.
I'll go next because I feel similarly in terms of I tend to opt for comfort first. And I also think that my style changed when I lived on the East Coast for
Mm-hmm.
5 years and then coming back to the Midwest. I find that people in Kansas City and then the Midwest as a whole tend to opt for comfort over style.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt more I felt like I had more freedom of expression when I lived on the East Coast in terms of like being able to dress up nicer and wear bolder statement pieces and kind of blend into a crowd. Whereas I feel a little um, sometimes like when I dress up, I sometimes feel overdressed here. So I do tend to opt for what feels comfortable, which is mostly t-shirts. I do love a t-shirt moment.
Like
I
theater
am wearing a t-shirt right now. Like
That's very
now.
true for you.
Uh,
You are a theater family.
I am a theater, yeah, and I like to wear like like to repurpose like old shirts into to see if I can still wear them. Like this is from high school, honestly. Um, but it still fits, still works. So let's like keep it in the rotation. Um, and I do like wearing prints and colors if I'm not wearing a shirt.
Not
I'm
wearing
always, but
t-shirt.
yeah, if I'm not wearing a t-shirt, I do tend to prefer prints and colors as well. Um, but yeah, I do have also like a lot of just sensory things with clothing, and um, I'd say that my fashion sense is really dependent on the environment that I'm in. So I try to adapt it according to that environment.
Laura, Steph,
Yeah.
who's next?
Go ahead, Laura.
Well, I love Stephanie's style. So I just want to dress like Stephanie, but I don't have as good of fashion sense as Stephanie. But so I love all of Stephanie's clothes,
Well,
but
that
and outfits. But I feel like my style is kind of like, I don't know. I kind of love like casual, like kind of workwear. Like I'm wearing a jumpsuit today. I love like a jumpsuit.
I love
I
jumpsuits.
yeah, but honestly, I just love jeans and a solid basic shirt. I think the store that I would identify with the most is Madewell, but I love Madewell jeans, but I shop a lot at like Arizona Trading Company. I get a lot of secondhand stuff that I think maybe isn't the basic vein of Madewell. But especially because I work from home, I don't feel like I dress up very much. Like a lot of times I'll just barely wear any makeup and, so I think I also dress for comfort when I'm at home. I definitely have
Too.
What?
These two. So
Yeah.
Stephanie and Casey.
hmm yeah. So I think that kind of wraps up my style.
Well, I
Stan.
have a uniform style. So Laura, all you got to do is get a pair of overalls and we'll be twins. Um, my
I got a pair of overalls that look like yours.
okay.
Yeah.
And I have high
Yeah.
school pictures to prove that I am a long lover of overalls. And I love overalls and I wear these at least 3 times a week. I don't care if I'm wearing the same thing. I don't want to think about what I'm wearing so much at all. And
And during COVID, you had that green dress.
I still have it. I have a lot of things that I will just,
You wore it.
I still have it. It's actually, I need to repair it. It's right over there. It's kind of stitching's coming
You're gonna
apart.
be like, here it
I could almost do that. I can see it. It's literally in my closet right there. But yeah, that I don't want to think about it. I would wear the exact same thing every day if I could, and I do much more so than I used to. I will wear the same things all the time. But so simple, practical, uniform style, definitely comfort. I like taking sweaters and cutting them in half. Like this is an old V-neck polo, just V-neck sweater, just cut it down the middle. Now it's a cardigan.
Yeah, you could teach classes on repurposing clothes. Really could.
Well,
Not that you want to. I'm just
yeah.
saying you could.
and stitching, because you always find a way to apply some just simple, clean, fun stitch work that is like, who's that designer for men that his signature stamp on his clothes is that he does the stitching on the outside of the sweater for the tag inside. I don't know if anyone knows who I'm
Margiela?
talking about.
Maybe Margiela.
I mean, they would for sure have been at Fred Siegel or any of the spots that you're familiar with from LA, but I think that is such a Stephanie thing that you are like, simplicity. I don't want to think about it, but at the same time, like your art and your style and your perception comes through on everything that you wear, because it's just like everything gets Stephanieized.
Thank you.
I like that.
But I think something that a lot of us have in common too is that we all, I wouldn't say any of us are fast fashion supporters. I don't know if that's the right way to put it. Like, I think we all make it a point to do our best to try and either buy secondhand or buy from places that are taking the products from stores that are offloading them. But we're not buying from, H&M. We're not buying from, what's that popular website?
Shein.
And
Yeah, we're not a Shein family.
there's a lot of consciousness on what we're buying, who we're supporting, through what we're wearing. And I think that's really significant. We try and support local, smaller artists if we can. So
I would say I probably wouldn't, sorry.
go for it.
I would not repurpose my clothes if I had not, I'm assuming I wouldn't anyway, had I not seen Mom do it so much.
Oh, yeah.
And painting t-shirts and, and just sewing and just making our clothes and costumes. And so it's like, okay, well, I can probably figure it out. So.
Yeah, we absolutely grew up in a,
That's fine.
wants to come on. It's Zion. Hey, Rashi.
You could probably mute when you're not talking. Can you mute?
He wants to sit in my lap and like chat with you guys.
But what were you going to say, Amelia?
I was going to say that I do buy, or I probably am the most fast fashion purchaser of all of us, but I don't think that I'm. Well.
Oh.
Where's the mute?
Thanksgiving dinner. We're all sitting down talking.
Well, I guess this is one good Thanksgiving day.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, I like toast, pretzels, popcorn, and jelly beans. And I like Thanksgiving.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that with us. And now that you got to share that, can you go upstairs with Dad?
I'm not sure I can go upstairs. I could, and I go downstairs.
Okay.
I know.
Thank you so much.
That's so
I just
cute.
wanted to piggyback on that point about how we did grow up in a very creative household. I absolutely remember mom sewing and doing creative projects with the clothes that we had and making our costumes. And so that's a really, really good point. And it was very influential on all of us, I'm sure.
And I feel like I do the least amount of repurposing of my clothing. But
But it takes
it's okay. It's
know-how to do it, really.
yeah, and I don't have those skills. I remember wanting to learn how to use the sewing machine when I was little, but it was like too nice of a thing for me to like learn how to use. Or like it was, yeah, you were rightfully protective over the sewing machine. So I
My sewing
learned how
machine
to,
is 47 years old or something like that. 40. I have to think. I mean, Stephanie was a baby, a little baby.
Well,
She
then
might have
it's
been
almost 48.
6 months, a year. Yeah. So I have to think what age, but you were, yes. She was a baby.
yeah,
So
and we've had the
I
sewing
probably was
machine all
more
the
worried
time.
about you catching your finger in the needle. That can't happen. So
That's fair. Yeah, yeah. Either way, the skill kind of went over my head,
But
and I feel like I probably do buy the most fast fashion, but even so, I don't buy um a lot, and I've noticed that the quality has gone down since over
mhm.
the, decade or so that I've like really kind of been buying from stores like H&M and Forever 21
Mhm.
and stuff. And I still have actually a lot of my old clothing from those fast fashion stores and I still wear them. But I try not to purchase anything from there anymore if I can. I try to find other sources. Now that I'm older and, my style has changed and I know more about the ethics involved of it all. And yeah,
well, you have a shirt on
I
from
try
high
to
school,
change.
so that's repurposing right there. Like that's holding on.
True.
And
Yeah,
even with
exactly.
fast
Exactly.
fashion, if you're wearing it and if you like it and you're making use of it, then I think that's okay.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I do make
Mhm.
use of it and
Okay.
it's what has worked also with like my income level
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
of like where I've been at. I haven't been able to buy nicer clothing and I don't have the skills of thrifting. And so that's just sort of what my style is. So just, yeah, out here representing repurposing, but more lazy girl repurposing. It's called you
We've
cut
all
off
know it.
the
That has
bottom
been.
of the shirt and then it's a crop top.
Just remember to move daily, feed your body, and breathe.